name is Tutu Ismael Kagga. I'm the Executive Director at Kagga Partners in charge of operations. I'm a civil engineer by training. Kagga Partners is a multidisciplinary engineering firm. It was started in 1974 as a sole proprietorship. It then evolved until 1990, where it became an incorporated company. And since then, we have been doing civil engineering related works from the water and sanitation sector, roads. And then in about 2011, we were approached at the time by Tallow Oil. They were obviously starting their exploration and appraisal phase. We then got into the oil and gas sector at that time, and ever since then we have been executing engineering services alongside our core services in engineering. We work in Uganda, we work all the way from Eritrea down to South Africa, again related to delivery of infrastructure projects. We have done exploration and appraisal related infrastructure. So we worked for Tallow Oil, we worked for Total, we worked for Sinok. And from the softer point of things, as we have been executing these projects, we have trained staff, or we have skilled our staff. Not necessarily in the engineering aspect, but the ability to work within a high pressure environment that is the oil and gas. It's characterized with tight deadlines, stringent health and safety regulations. We work closely with the environmentalists to be able to find a viable solution, but also to meet the environmental and social impact assessment requirements that were set for the big projects such as the Tilinga or the Kingfisher. Usually most of us, particularly the Ugandan companies, we are eager to participate. But it seems there's a gap between trying to intimately know what is going on in the industry. We tend to say, oh, I want to be part of it. How do I become part of it? But most of these potential clients are too busy to hold our hands, say, as Ugandans. So this is where the likes of the Uganda Chamber of Mines and Petroleum comes in. In being a member, we have had access to technical working groups in the industry. We have managed to know what the international oil companies are looking for through these workshops. And by doing that, we then adapt our services to meet the potential clients. So what I'm basically saying is that Ugandans need to be part and parcel of that corridor through places like the Uganda Chamber of Mines and Petroleum. In exploration and appraisal stage, there's still room for opportunities. There are other players who are taking up exploration in the Albertine region. You have the likes of Ama Energy. You have the likes of Oronto Petroleum. You have the likes of, I think, DG Global. Okay? These are going to require services that are in country. Okay? So one can say, oh, the bus left me, but in essential it hasn't, because you still have room to prepare yourself to provide construction services, to provide catering, transport, logistics. When you go to the production phase, I mean, all this infrastructure is being put up, but it has to be maintained. So there's going to be asset management, not only, say, of the roads, of the buildings, over the 30 years that production is going to take place. So what I'm saying, that there's room for Ugandan companies that are yet to join the industry. They need to get themselves in the space where information is shared. Then they go back do their house cleaning to position themselves to be able to to take part in these opportunities. We need to look out for those opportunities. We need to be on the national supplier database. That essentially is not good enough. You need to look for those opportunities. So you need to join the likes of the Chamber of Mines and Petroleum, whereby you can get access to some of these players, know what they need. Some of these clients, I mean, their work is characterized by tight timelines. What does that mean for a Ugandan company? It means you have to be able to scale when the client wants scalability. You need to have depth in your team. So you start looking for people who can add value to that respect. Then again, as you sit in these corridors, you find out that there's need for contract management as you execute these contracts. Failure to do that leads to costly dispute resolutions. So you get linkages with other partners who can be able to manage contracts and execute them very well. So for me, the thing is, you need to stock your prey. You need to know what they need, what their characteristic is, then come up with a value proposition and offer it to them. Once you knock quite a few times, they will not ignore you and you take part in the industry. So for me, that is what I can say. We have been knocking at the door since 2011. We are getting opportunities. And as you get opportunities, you tend to learn some of the distinct features of this industry and how to be able to capitalize on them.